Hey guys, my name is Dan. This is my partner in crime, Victor, and today we're going to talk to you about travel planning. If we access the universal source of all information in this planet, which is Google, you'll realize that the planning process is important, crucial, but also stressful and difficult. These are the top suggestions. So we're aiming to take out the stressful and difficult part. So if you look at the current industry offering and you take a random website, so normally what happens is that you get a ton of aggregators, and what they give you, they just give you the tools to find the perfect flight for yourself. So they're asking a lot of input. You're basically telling them, I want to travel somewhere, and they ask you, when do you want to travel, for how long, what date, and so on and so forth. And then you can track the changes in the price. You need to give them their your number, and then they just keep on spamming you with different stuff. So we think this can be much better. So right now the challenge is that it's very time consuming, needs a lot of user input, needs user curation, and then needs the user to make an impulse decision, like the price is okay, the destination is fine. And we want to do something that's very fast, needs minimal user input, the options are pre-curated, and then the only decision the user would make would be yes or no. So let's simplify the process. So if you see on the right is our proposal. We're basically using for user input on the departure, airport, and the trip duration. We're going to give you destination ideas, and they can be local, regional, or global. For the purpose of this presentation, we're going to do it global, because you get some interesting results. But you can do California only, or only the US, or the world. And then we'll give you travel date suggestion within 4 months. And we'll make sure that you get the shortest travel time, and then you're not going to get the cheapest total fare, but you get the cheapest ranked total fare. And the way we think about the fare, we're not just going to give you the cheapest ticket. We're going to give you the cheapest ticket, taking into account the travel, taking into account the amount of miles you're traveling and how far the destination is and the price for that particular destination. So we call it the MOBU score, which essentially means more bang for your buck. Bang for your buck. All right. So what is the secret sauce? So in our ranking algorithm, we're basically trying to figure out the cheapest price. And the destination travel. So we used Sabre's APIs for this, city match, fares, and flight information, instaflight. But the problem is that we didn't have the number of miles traveled. So for that reason, we decided to take a different metric, which is time traveled. So there's a very good correlation between the time traveled and the distance traveled, because planes tend to travel, all the companies fly the same planes and they fly at the same speed. So they're very much correlated. So let's go into the demo. All right, so as I mentioned, the user input is minimum. So I want to fly from San Francisco, and I know that I have a 7-day vacation, and I have no price limit. So normally what happens when you use search engines for travel, they basically just give you a bunch of results, and then it goes from the cheapest to the most expensive. And then you can have the same city mentioned a billion times. So what we're doing here, we basically, right now it's parsing a query with all the possible destinations within SFO and other cities, and then we're trying to also figure out how far the airport is. So if you look here, at the first site, you're going to see the ranking goes like 250, 290, 908, 169. So one might say, well, this doesn't make any sense. Like, why would I buy the cheapest ticket? Well, it turns out that if you calculate the amount of travel, we're basically looking here at the metric, essentially is the price you pay per mile traveled. So in general, if you look like the distance between Singapore, for example, is 8,400 miles, and then the Houston is 1,600. So essentially the miles per travel for Singapore is 9.2 and for Houston is 9.5. So the ROI is pretty good here. Let's run another query. So I want to fly from Boston for a quick weekend. And I need some suggestions. And as you can see, the user experience is pretty easy. Like, all I have to do is say, yes, this works for me, that doesn't. And in the future, you'll be able to just swipe away. Let's say you're not interested in Fort Lauderdale. You just swipe it away, and the app would know that you're not interested in that destination. It's just going to keep on giving you new destinations. So in this example, you get another ranking. As you can see, we have, let's say, Costa Rica and Seattle. And actually, Costa Rica is a little bit further. They're pretty much within the same range. But if you calculate the price per mile traveled, actually Costa Rica is 27% cheaper. So it makes more sense for you to buy the ticket for $367, go explore a new country, and enjoy it, and know that you get the best possible experience. And then we also suggest the date for you. All right, so the last example, just get it. So we're traveling from Dallas. Let's take a non-standard time duration, 11. And then I know that I don't want to spend more than $800 on this. So, well, this should load in 30 seconds. All right, there you go. So, you know, as I'm looking through these options, it appears to me that the limit $800 just pretty much leaves me within the US. And I'm not sure whether I want to stay in the US, I want to discover and explore. And then while looking through this list, actually I realized that I have some pretty good suggestions. I have El Salvador, Mexico, and Canada. So how many times have you used, you know, any like Kayak or Expedia, and then you looked, well, you know, the destination is not that good. Let me narrow it down to El Salvador, Mexico, maybe Canada. Maybe the price will be better. So that's the user experience. I just wanted to travel for 11 days. I got all the possible destinations. The app gave me 3 international destinations at half the price I wanted. It's a great user experience.
Okay. Cool.
And I'm done, yes.
Question?
By the way, here's a graphical representation of our...
Just want to confirm, there's no, obviously, lodging costs are not incorporated here, right? This is just flight cost.